Today I'm in Wrocław. I think I pronounced that as best I could. It's spelt like Wroclaw, but pronounced Wrocław, I think. So I'm here for a couple of days. It's in Poland. I do love Poland. I've been here a few times now, and it's always been good fun. The people have always been really friendly and really polite. So I'm just going to explore the city, maybe have a couple of nights out as well. I've got a walking tour shortly. But one of the special things about this city is there are around about 800 little dwarfs or little gnomes spread all across the city. So there's no way I'm going to find over 800 of them. But if I find about 100, I mean, that's not too bad. I don't know how far I'm going to go to find them because they are spread all over the city, quite far out as well. So over the next couple of days, I will find as many as I can, as well as taking in a lot of the local sites and attractions. But yeah, the weather's good. It's about 25 degrees. The sun isn't quite out, but it's a lot better than the UK at the moment because it's been constant rain and not very warm either. This is the actual town square, or the old town square, and apparently it's the biggest old town square in Europe. It's a bit of a strange one though. It's like there's like lots of buildings in between, so it kind of goes all the way round and down there and up there, so it's a bit of a strange kind of square. That's my guide for the walking tour, I think, with the yellow umbrella. I've got about 10 minutes till it starts, so I'm going to have a little bit of a walk around before starting my tour. And I've just found my first gnome, which is an ice cream gnome eating ice cream outside an ice cream shop, and there's another one down here. So I'm not going to find a lot whilst I'm on my tour, I don't think, because I'm going to be visiting the tour thing, but I will find what gnomes I can, or dwarves should I say. So this is an Italian dwarf outside an Italian restaurant, and you can see it's on a Vespa, got some pizza, got some wine and some coffee. I'm going to leave the old town now and head over to Cathedral Island, which involves taking a couple of bridges. The first one is this big red bridge here. There's actually a dwarf down here, which you can't see, you can't really zoom in on my GoPro, where he's washing his trousers in the river. And this is the second bridge going to Cathedral Island. As you can see from my dwarf friend here, he's covered in locks. So I think this used to be the lock bridge. But as with many European cities, the locks appear to have been removed, usually because they get too heavy and it can destroy the bridge. However, there are still locks all along here at the side of the river. This is the Church of the Holy Cross. Apparently there's 4 churches you can see from this point, which is here, the cathedral, the church here, and then, oh, and there's one just over there as well. The other interesting thing about Cathedral Island, which does feel very different from the old town of Wrocław, are the lamps. At night time these are actual gas lamps, so there'll be a lamplighter like in Victorian times coming around lighting all the lamps, and you can come and watch him do it. He also has to come back early hours of the morning to turn them all off. And this is Wrocław Cathedral, which is quite pretty from the outside. I know I don't always go into cathedrals and churches, but this time I'm going to make an exception. Yeah, actually, it was really pretty in there. I'm definitely going to make an effort to go inside more cathedrals and churches on my future travels. I saw on a video online, there's actually a little secret garden here just through this restaurant, so I'm going to check it out and see what's through here. Well, look at this, there's no one here. Quite pretty. It's a bit of a view of the South Island and a statue in the middle. And a statue of Edmund Bojanowski, who was a student at the university, I'm guessing, but I don't know who well, I guess the kids are his. if memory serves me correctly in this video, there was a nice little viewpoint just down these steps. Looks like I brought the UK weather with me. It's raining. Hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. There's chances of severe storms later. I don't know if it's going to clear up much today or not, which is unfortunate. The weather's still hot. It's still about 30 degrees, but it's raining. Anyway, so these are the slaughtered animals. So you see various different animals: cows, pigs, ducks, rabbits, chickens. And these are here to commemorate all the animals that were killed, because there used to be lots of butchers' shops all along here that would slaughter the animals and serve the meat. And this is where they used to keep all of the meat refrigerated, even though it wasn't a proper refrigerator. As it was underground, it would keep the meat cool. So you can see there's a golden egg there from, is that a swan? I don't know if that's good luck, but it looks quite shiny. But then you can see there's some poo from the goat, and people either touch the poo if they want wealth, or they touch the horns if they want a good sex life. You have to pick one or the other. As the sun has come out, I know it's still raining, the sun has started to come out. I'm taking my chances, so I've stopped off at the Cathedral of Mary Magdalene, or the Church of Mary Magdalene. And you're meant to be able to go right to the top and have a beautiful view of the city. It's going to be a bit of a climb to the top, and there's loads of like spooky noises and whispering and voices. So I've reached the top of the tower, and I'm at the Bridge of Penitence, where, according to legend, the ghosts of young women prefer to party with young men, I guess living men, than look after their homes. Don't quite understand that. And as a result, they'd have to walk along here or something. Maybe I've got this completely wrong, I don't know. But there's also two dwarves here. These two characters here, the older one I believe is Tekla, and the younger one is Martina. So Tekla was a very lazy child, and her father punished her by having to come here to sweep this bridge. So many years later, when Tekla was quite old, a younger witch called Martina took pity on her and came here to help Tekla sweep the bridge. Now, Martina had also helped a wizard, so she flew down to the main square below to talk to the wizard and was granted a wish. And Martina's wish was to free Tekla from her fate of sweeping the bridge. When Martina came back up to the bridge, Tekla was gone. So there's this area around by the railway arches where there's loads and loads of bars, restaurants, cafes, all sorts. My tour guide earlier said there's over 100 bars and cafes, restaurants along here. So it's meant to be where all the locals hang out. It's meant to be a good place. I think it closes around midnight. I'm not too sure what to do with myself yet, but I'll probably get some food from here, have a couple of drinks, and decide if I stay around this area or head back to the old town and have a night out there. Saturday morning, just about. Got up quite late. I needed some sleep. Had a good night last night, found a karaoke place, sang quite a few songs, got chatting to some locals. So yeah, it was good. But I don't really remember much about the end of the night. I'm now in like, it's Hare Krishna people around here. But this square here, they sell flowers. And they sell flowers 24/7. Mainly because it used to be when guys would go out drinking and get home very late, and their wives would be really upset and annoyed with them. It was so they could buy flowers from here on the way home, take them to their wives so they wouldn't be so annoyed. Quite a lot of the dwarves are hidden in all different places. A lot of them are actually climbing lampposts. However, the lamppost dwarves all seem to look the same. They seem to have no real difference. A lot of the ones on the ground, you'll see they have some kind of meaning. Often if it's outside a shop, it'll be relevant to that shop. If it's in a certain location, it might be relevant to that location. This is the oldest and the first dwarf in the city. So I think this has been here for since the early 2000s. This was the first one. This is Papa Dwarf. and you can see he's standing on top of a thumb. So that's meant to be like, you know, when you like put your thumb on your nose and make like a na 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 kind of sound. That is the reason why. So why are there dwarves all around Wrocław? Well, it's to do with communism. So in the 1980s, Poland was still a communist country and there wasn't much freedom. So the best way they could try to protest against it was to draw dwarves, like graffiti dwarves, around the city to bring some happiness to the city. And it then got to the point where many students would dress up as dwarves, demand freedom for dwarves and smurfs as well. And kind of like freedom of speech. They wanted freedom of speech, and they did it in a joking and fun way by graffitiing dwarves around the city, dressing up as dwarves. And eventually it paid off. I mean, now Poland is a very different country to how it was, even just going back to the 80s, which is not that long ago, really, when you think about it. So since then, to commemorate standing up to communism, in the early 2000s they started to put dwarves around the city, and I think even today they're adding more and more dwarves, so they are everywhere, and there's even one as far away as Mexico. Just got myself a pascania, which is like a kind of local donut. I wasn't too sure which one I went for. I think I've gone for caramel. It said caramel, so I'm guessing that's caramel. God, it's quite big. Bloody hell, it's really big, bigger than the Krispy Kreme, I'll tell you that much. Let's see what it tastes like. Kind of like, it's got like a gingerbread kind of taste to it. There's definitely caramel in there. It's not bad. And it's not as sweet as I was expecting, which is a good thing. This guy is the fencer. So he was a student here a long time ago. And as you can see, he has a fencing sword and he's naked. So what happened was, he got very drunk, lost a bet, maybe playing poker or something like that, lost all of his clothes, but the only thing that he still had was his sword to show that he was still a man. And there's a statue dedicated to him here because of that. But the other thing is there's a statue in the main square which is a famous writer, and in the famous writer's hand is a quill or a pen. And quite often the students here get drunk. This has been removed so many times. The sword has gone missing loads of times. The same with the quill from the other statue. But one time the students took the quill from the other statue, replaced it with a sword to say that the pen is mightier than the sword. The other thing is, like a couple of years ago, one of the students here that graduated somehow got a canoe into the fountain and sat in the canoe in the fountain. I think he got arrested, but he became very, very famous around Wrocław. And behind me now is the university. This is one of the prettiest buildings in the city. It's actually a very, very long building, as you can see, but it doesn't go back too far because you've got the river on the other side. Now inside here, there's meant to be a really beautiful room that you can check out, so I'm going to check this room out. There's also meant to be a beautiful viewpoint, one of the best viewpoints of the city up here, so I'm going to try and check that out too. This place is beautiful, absolutely amazing. So these are the stairs that will lead up to the really beautiful room that I'm going to check out, and then I'll continue upwards to the top of the tower for a really beautiful view. I think this is the room. Yeah, wow, look at this. Wow, this place is beautiful. Just look at the artwork is amazing. And I'm at the top of the university, which is meant to be one of the best views. There were some nice views at the Bridge of Penance that I went to yesterday, but obviously you won't get that view in there as well. And there is a Sky Tower, which is a bit more into the centre of the city, but it's meant to be quite overpriced, and it's a little bit far from the old town, so I don't think I'll be going to the Sky Tower. I've walked a little bit north outside the old town, about 15-20 minutes, to come to this place, which is basically graffiti alley. Maybe that's the best way to describe it. There's lots of street art. That is one thing I love seeing when I go to various cities, is some of the street art. Some of these people are the people that live here, or are relatives or importance to people that have painted it here, because there seems to be like no one in particular, no one special, but I'm just guessing they could be the people that live here. Last day in Wrocław, and the sun is out. It's probably the most beautiful day so far here. But I've got a few hours until I have to head home. Not too sure what I'm going to do yet. Last night was good, had a night out. I keep meeting a lot of people from the States here, and a lot of them are in the military and they're stationed here because of tensions with Russia and everything at the moment. And last night hung out with some of them, went to a club, drank, danced. But yeah, so I've had a really good time here. Definitely my favourite city in Poland so far. Somewhere that I definitely consider coming back to. And I don't know if I've filmed this yet, but this is the town hall, which is kind of in the centre of the square. It's not actually the biggest square in Europe, apparently it's the second biggest in Europe. But as you can see, you've got a clock there, which also has the seasons in the four corners. And there's the rest of the square.